Oh, Michelle. And
right.
oh, okay.
All right.
See how I just laid off, didn't I?
Yeah.
Totally professional.
Yeah. Well, Gene, you're a champ.
I know. I've been doing it long enough where I say, when you go all right, that's a signature move.
Yeah.
That's like when Ed McMahon. Well, that's too dated. But he used to say, "Here's Johnny," and then Johnny would wait for him to say, "Here's Johnny," before he came out and said, "Hey, it was so hot in Burbank today. I saw a squirrel sunning himself," or something.
Well,
Would that be right? He used to tell a lot of jokes like that about Burbank.
well, Gene, you don't compare me to Johnny Carson, okay?
Oh, you're way up there.
Yeah, don't. I'm not there yet.
My friend,
Not yet.
my friend who's touring with Seinfeld. Maybe is that too
Name
obnoxious?
dropper.
Well, yeah, that's a name drop. But he was on the Tonight Show a bunch of times with Johnny Carson. He's older. 60s isn't old.
Well,
60s is a new.
Yeah, Gene, don't
late
drop a
40s.
60-year-old comic that no one knows.
Well, no,
anymore.
but he's touring, and he was just in Oklahoma. Well,
Oh,
there you go.
Okay.
Hey,
Well,
can
Gene,
I-
we've been doing the show way too long. We
Wait.
basically said the exact same thing
Oh, yeah.
at the same time. So go back to the
Can
tape.
I say that my nephew Connor won another? Oh, remember he won the golf tournament? He won again this week
Oh.
too. So good job, Connor. I'll dedicate this
regular,
for you.
regular Tiger Woods.
I want to dedicate this to Connor and everyone else who's
Okay.
I've ever
All right.
met.
So this is it's called the Midwest Sports Show,
Oh, how timely!
and this is a podcast
Is it about
about
all things Midwest?
Midwest sports.
Does that cover IU? Would it cover the Indiana marching band? Would they be included? Because they're in the Midwest.
Well, Gene,
Would it be about the Fighting 100? I don't
Gene,
know.
you
How
know
many
that if you don't email me the topics, your
Oh.
discussions are not allowed on the show. So
I see.
you
I
have
was
to give
just
me
wondering. I was
preparation.
just curious because we don't
Well,
talk a lot about Indiana.
no email, no Indiana.
Oh, okay.
Unfortunately,
So we won't be talking about the IU band. Just
all right,
throw it
well,
out there.
maybe you can weave it in.
Okay,
little bit better.
I'll
So-
try to. I'll try to weave in the Indiana band
All right.
yeah.
Anything. Okay.
Okay.
Well, my name is Chris Stotts.
Hello, Chris.
And then that's Gene Steichen.
Very excited to see you, Chris. Hey,
And,
Mike.
What?
I just want
What?
to say this. Last night I was in Riverside at this is drum corps show, which is basically music like marching band. I used to do it. I did it for 10 years, and I taught for a couple years. But my friend went to a show in La Crosse last night.
Oh
It
yeah.
was in La Crosse.
Was it at the Lacrosse Center?
No,
It was a marching band?
Yeah, it was at the stadium. They have a college there.
The
They-
Eagle.
yeah.
The Eagle
Yeah.
Stadium. Well, it's a
big
couple
one.
of rafters and a brick outline.
Yeah, it looked
It's not
beautiful.
huge,
But so that was cool. And he
Yeah, did
enjoyed
they win?
lacrosse. Who?
did they win?
Well,
Was it like a meet?
Yeah, no, you don't.
Did he-
Clearly,
did he part- did he-
I would just stop now.
Did you go downtown?
No, I don't.
Do the
think
kids
so.
go
I
downtown
don't-
after a
he's
rigorous
not a
day
kid.
of marching?
He's not a kid anymore. Yeah.
Well, I mean the band, right? The band was
Oh.
there.
Yeah, I think it was with his friend Jack. I remember him saying to me last night. He texted me from La Crosse, Wisconsin, where Chris is from. He goes, "Hey, I'm with my buddy Jack." He says hi. So I was like, "Tell Jack I said hello too."
Okay. All right.
We
All right. It's
won't
only
get
funny
in.
to like two people, but
Well,
nice joke. All right. So
yeah, that's for you, Jack.
well, so listen, we know that there's a lot of sports podcasts,
Right,
a lot of
right.
sports programming.
Yes.
And listen, we're not saying stop listening to Bill Simmons.
You're not saying that.
or Peter King
Or-
or Schefter.
Don't
or,
turn in your Monday morning
Mike-
quarterback subscription.
Yeah, Mike and Mike. Go ahead and listen to those guys. And,
I listened to him today.
And listen about the Yankees. Sure,
Right.
Hear about the Yankees.
If you want to hear about the Miami Marlins,
yeah,
if you-
be my guest. Go
yeah,
ahead.
Hey, if you want to go, if you want to get the update on what's going on with the
Yeah.
Texas Rangers farm system, tune in to Mike and Mike.
Yeah, if you're
How
if
about that?
if you want to know about Melo,
Yeah.
Carmelo Anthony,
Oh, I
like
see.
does
You
anyone
go
give a
on
fuck
NBA.
about
Right.
Carmelo? I don't know.
If
Who
you
cares?
want to know what Tom and Giselle are talking about behind closed doors, be my guest.
there's a
How's
lot.
that?
There's a
I'm
lot.
following
Yeah,
up with you.
there's a lot of shows.
Yeah.
Let's just say there's a lot of shows you can watch.
If you want to see where Boogie Cousins is going to sign, go be my guest. Go listen to Colin Cowherd, the Cowherd.
Yeah, the herd.
Hey, by the way, I'm wearing
And undisputed.
in honor of 4th of July in the great state of Iowa. I'm wearing a Field of Dreams shirt.
All right, there
And
you
guess what? You know I love this shirt because I bought it at the field. They have a. I was there.
So the
yeah.
gift shop, right?
Yeah, they have a gift shop, but there's the same lady. She's been there. The movie is, I think, now 26 years old, or the movie came out 26 years ago, and the farm is in Dyersville, Iowa, which is right next to Dubuque. And the lady who works,
You didn't put your
yeah.
headphone in.
Oh,
That's why.
so everything I've said doesn't count so far. So the lady that works at the thing, she's been there the whole time. So I see her maybe once a year. I'll stop by and go, "Oh, look at you! You're still working here." They haven't promoted her to being it, and she's outside. But I bought this shirt last year. So.
All right, they're keeping the place afloat, keeping the farm
If
afloat.
you build it, they will come. He will come.
Well,
not they.
I'll tell you what, you've done more for that community than Donald Trump.
Oh yeah.
Yes. All right. Well, let's not get political here. Let's
no,
not get political.
but Donald.
But anyways,
Donald Trump. He was. I'm glad he gave wrestling a shout out this week. So that's pretty
there you
cool,
go.
right?
Yeah. Let's just adjust.
Oh, we're
all right. So
certainly.
can you adjust that, Gene? There's like
Yeah.
a lot of headspace on there, on that video. All right.
Oh, okay. We're making small adjustments. As you
All
know.
right. So, anyway, so the point is,
that
yes.
now?
Go ahead and watch. Okay, that's too much.
I've
That's too few.
In other words, I've overcompensated.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
now I'm gonna
All right,
adjust
so,
the camera.
Again, if you want, there's a bunch of other shows you guys can watch, and go ahead, enjoy those shows.
Yeah.
But if you want the hardcore Midwest news,
Right.
by some experts,
I see.
this is a place to be.
If you wanna find out where the #1 rodeo star in the country, I think, he's good on horses. Where he's from, you came to the right place. He's from Zwingo, Iowa.
Yeah.
I don't know his name, but I know he's from Zwingo.
Well, should we talk about?
I dated a girl from Zwingo.
Should we talk about?
Only lasted 12
Should we talk about
hours,
some
but
Midwest
it was
sports?
okay. Yeah. Oh, hey, I've already talked Midwest sports because my nephew Connor won a golf tournament. That was in Nebraska.
Oh, there
so,
you go. Okay, I guess that counts.
one up on you, and I also mentioned Indiana. So there you go.
All right.
Off and running.
I guess Gene's leading.
This is
in
going to
the
be a
points.
big week because it's not only 4th of July, but the Brewers have to come back to Chicago because the weather did them in last time.
Well, we will talk about that because
boy.
it's been a very interesting 7 days
I see.
since the last show, and we really weren't that kind to the Cubs last week. So it's like, how far can this team sink?
Yeah, I've watched them. This is the first.
And Gene, this sounds like old news by now.
Yeah, I know.
Do you know what's coming? You don't know what's coming.
Well, Schwarber's still in the minor league. Chris got the yes, exactly.
All right, so
Chris got the major league package for $10.
yeah, that's the big
I've
news.
had it all season, but I had to pay $170. But
Yeah.
I'm under the rule of Spectrum, which used to be Time Warner.
But you got to watch all those early games.
I've watched all the Cub games, and it's not good for your mental health.
I will tell you this. So yes, I did get the MLB package for my Apple TV for $10, and you can do it on your phone and all that stuff. They had a 1 day, well, actually only a couple hours sale.
Oh, I see. So
they
gave you a sale window, and you jumped through it.
Yeah, $10 for sure. No sweat. And
I tried to create a visual there. There's a window open, and you jump through.
Yep. And I'll tell you what, being able to watch these baseball games whenever you want and not having to click on 1,000 windows from the illegal website you're streaming.
Chris lives in an illegal
you
world.
feel like a king. You feel like a goddamn king.
It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. You feel like the president or something like that. So
wow, it's cool.
very nice.
Hey, by the way, since you do most of your life consider or rotates around illegal activity, when marijuana becomes legal in California, will you stop smoking it then? Because you think, yeah, now everyone can do it.
It is legal.
Oh, okay,
California, isn't it?
Well,
All
yeah.
right.
Okay. Well,
All right, so let's talk about Montero Gate.
Oh,
Let's talk about-
Miggy. He got traded.
Let's talk about the scandal.
It's not a scandal. Oh, it is
Well,
a scandal. Yeah,
Let's
I love them.
let's start at the beginning.
Oh boy, the Cubs won.
I-
Okay, the beginning where the Cubs were the Chicago Federals, I think, in the 1860s.
Well, maybe
Something like
a
that.
little more fast forward than that.
Oh, okay. Well, they built Wrigley Field in 1914. The Cubs didn't play there till 1918.
All right, let's move up a little further.
I see. 1969, the Cubs are the best team in the National League, and they blew
lost
it
4
to
games.
the Mets.
All right, we can
Yeah.
stay here for a minute.
Okay, no, go ahead. What you want?
All right, so this is actually just something that was on Twitter that I saw, and I just take notes for interesting Midwest sports stories.
Oh, I see.
And
Yeah.
it started with the
The
Cubs.
wheels are always turning.
The Cubs, yeah. I'm always I'm quite a producer.
I should have said the wheels are
Trying to
always
get ready.
churning.
Churning, yeah.
Because that's cow reference.
Cud, churning,
Yeah.
cud. All right. So it started with the Cubs were playing the Nationals.
Yes, which
And,
I watched. That was last week.
And Trey Turner, who, by the way, broke his hand.
Well,
right? His
he
finger
didn't
the
really
other day?
break it. We broke it for him.
So, weird how that happens.
Pedro Strop. Good thing we're not playing the Nationals again, or our guys would be in big trouble.
Yeah.
But our pitcher Pedro Strop hit him in the wrist, which I don't know if anyone's ever been hit in the wrist, but it's about a 96 mile per hour fastball. I haven't myself, but I guess it causes your wrist to break sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes it hurts.
Yeah.
Yep. It's not. Sometimes it's not the best
Well,
therapy.
after running, he had four. This guy Turner had 4 stolen bases against the Cubs in 2 innings. I'm like, enough already. Okay, dude, you're fast. We get it.
Just running wild, and apparently Montero hasn't thrown a single
for
base
31.
runner out.
And they had 7 stolen bases against the Cubs. I was like, hey, Nationals, if you're trying to prove a point, you've done it. Now lay off. Because you're causing team turmoil. Do you think if Washington, we play Washington in Washington, if they knew how much damage they were going to do to the Cubs clubhouse, would they have
stopped?
Yeah,
who knows?
But all those bases.
So I saw that, and then Montero was asked about it.
Oh.
Later that night, and he had some quotes, which
oh boy,
I have right here.
Oh boy. Are you going to share them?
I am going to bring this up right now.
I already know what he said, but now I'm thinking, do I want to hear it again? Listen, when you've had many failed relationships or dates or whatever you want to call it, short-time hookups, do you go through everything that went wrong the next morning with the lady laying next to you?
Well, if it's a screenshot, yes.
Okay.
You know, I think I actually deleted this. Here we go. No, here we go. Okay. After the game, Montero. This is from ESPN. After the game, Montero was upset, but not with himself. That's the reason they were running left and right today. This is a quote. Because they, Arrieta, because he's talking about the pitcher, were slow to the plate.
Yeah.
He's saying the pitches are slow to the plate. Montero said after the Cubs 6-1 loss, simple as that. It's a shame. It's my fault because I didn't throw anyone out. Yeah, it's not your fault. It really sucked because the stolen bases go on me.
Right.
When you really look at it.
Yeah.
The pitcher doesn't give me any time, so Miggy can't throw anyone out, but my pitchers don't hold anyone.
That was bad. Well, originally, and then they were mad at him, and then the next morning.
Well, so I had all that prepared.
Oh, I see. You did.
And
I've committed it to memory.
And then I went to sleep.
Oh, you did.
I went to sleep that night.
Do you stay up for many days in a row and then just pass out one night?
No.
Oh.
No, I go to sleep every night.
What's the longest you've ever stayed up? Would you say?
I like 24 hours or something.
Oh, okay. Yeah, probably me too. Probably 24.
All right, so I wake up the next day, and Miggy, as he's known as, designated as a free agent.
Yeah. Well.
Goodbye. See you later.
For assignment.
Get off the. Get off the RV.
They gave him 2 choices. They said, Miggy, we can either send you to Menominee, Illinois, home of one of their feeder systems, or you can just walk away. And they designated for assignment, and he ended up going hello, and he got traded today actually to Toronto. You know that? They had to give Toronto cash and Miggy, and they got a player to be named later.
Wow.
I mean, what the hell is that?
I thought Miggy was a well-liked player, right? Maybe this is last year.
Him. Oh.
And now this year?
Well, do you know, how about this? Because he got in that beef with Jake Arrieta, and Jake's thrown 2 no-hitters. One I was at. One was at Dodger Stadium, Sunday Night Baseball, and I was there.
Was Miggy
was a catcher.
Ooh.
Not for the first one. David Ross caught the one in Cincinnati. But the one at Dodger Stadium was Miggy.
Wow.
Yeah.
See you later, Jose.
Oh.
Miguel.
He was supposed to do a weekly radio spot for Chicago ESPN, and his first appearance was the day after, which he still did. I don't know why.
Was it pre-recorded?
No, he was like, well,
Did he do the next week? Is he doing this week?
Then they thought, well, now that he's in Toronto, he'll probably get more involved.
So,
with them.
and then
he was great though. Without him, we might not have won a World Series. We being we, when the Cubs are losing, it is definitely them.
But so is it? Are these guys? What is he talking about? Like throwing? None of these guys have fastballs. Is that what he's saying? Like none of these guys can throw.
I don't know.
98?
They timed it out. He thought. Well, Jake's velocity's down. If you want to go, velocity.
I mean, does anyone throw the ball harder than 95 on that squad? I don't think so.
No, not the starters.
Oh Jesus.
I don't think so. Aroldis Chapman did. Oops.
Yeah.
He plays for the Yankees.
All right, Miggy, once you take the mound and throw the ball.
And Jake was taking 2 seconds. It was a mess because they kept walking guys, and that was a
damn. Why? So you guys just cut Miguel, the first guy that speaks out.
And do you know what? He had a grand slam against the Dodgers, which was awesome. And then in Game 7, he knocked in the 8th run, and I don't know if you know this, but the Cubs won Game 7, 8-7. So, hello.
Well, hey, don't speak ill of Arrieta, the golden child, even though he's not even going to be there next year.
I know,
so.
even though the Cubs are going to let him walk. But, that Washington series was tough on the Cubs' psyche. Not good. Well, they're down.
And speaking of the National Series, they were in the Washington, D.C., of course.
Oh, yeah, they met Trump.
And they met Trump. So these guys are double dipping with the president now? Or
yeah, and that's when Alberto Alomar Jr. flipped him off.
Well, supposedly, but...
I saw. Did you see the picture?
Yeah, I saw the picture. It's very ambiguous.
It's not ambiguous. He flipped him off. I know what it looks like.
Well, why was he even there?
I don't know.
And another little tidbit, and this may be coming from the CIA or the FBI or Russia, I don't know.
Right.
But apparently the Cubs wanted Trump to say, you're fired.
Oh, right.
To Miguel Montero.
I can't believe that. I know that's what, I don't know.
Will they hate him that much to do it? Or maybe they just love him that much, right?
I don't know.
Doesn't make sense.
Yeah, well, he still made $14 million, so congratulations, Biggie.
I think it'll be all right.
And
did he suck? Was he bad?
No, he was one of their best hitters.
Yeah.
But yeah, he can't. I don't know. He's not the starting catcher, but you can't rock the boat, I guess. When in these days and ages of turmoil, you best not rock the boat.
Maybe Joe Madden had to get a couple more pet zoo animal petting days.
He only did Anchorman this year. He's only done one theme trip and Cubs. And how about this? Last year, so the All-Stars, did you already say that?
No, I didn't say anything.
Okay, last year, do you know how many Cubs? 6 starters were Cubs last year in the All-Stars. 6 starters.
And the Chris Bryant didn't even make it.
No,
right?
they got one player on the team, and that was a reliever, because I think you have to take one person from each team, right? So the Cubs are barely better than the Padres in Major League Baseball.
Yeah.
But isn't that amazing? You go from 6 starters on the All-Star team, and then everyone loves them, to Wade Davis. But Chris Bryant's one of the 5. So they do 5 guys. You get to vote in 1. So I voted for him a few hundred times today. So I hope that puts him over the top.
Obviously did not work.
They add 1 player. Yeah. Oh yeah.
All right. Well, and then speaking of Chris Bryant, he hurt his leg.
Oh yeah.
The other day. Was it serious, or did he come? It looked like he tore his ACL.
Yeah.
He's playing again.
Yeah.
Oh,
Turner's the one that got hurt. Yeah, he played against Sunday, and he wasn't very good. Cubs weren't very good.
All right, let's just blow through. We got a lot of news this week.
Oh, okay.
So,
hey, Cubs, hang in there. You hang in there. We'll get him in the second half.
All right. So Corey Hart.
We'll chase those Brewers down.
Corey Hart, former Brewer.
Speaking of the Brewers,
part of that 2008 team. He's retiring as a Brewer.
All right.
And he's gonna be on the Wall of Honor. There you go. Corey Hart, good guy.
Wow.
There you go.
They have a Wall of Honor?
Yep.
Oh, I got a Brewer story too.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, yesterday I was watching the Brewers for some reason, but that's why you do because they're the competition. So I'm seeing if we can track them down.
Scouting.
Yeah, and Bernie the Brewer, it is Bernie. He was sitting in the front row with next to this lady.
Next to front row Amy.
Did you see her?
Did Bernie the Brewer have a boner at the time?
Oh, wait, I don't. Shh. Hey, right. hey. Shh.
All right.
Wait, is that front row Amy?
Yeah, she's the brunette chick.
Yeah, that's who it was.
Big knockers, yeah.
Wait a second. That's supposed
That
to
she
be
sits in the
not
front.
good.
She's like the Marlin Man with that.
Oh, I
it's
didn't
actually
know.
like
I
good
didn't
looking.
know who she was, but the announcer said, "Wow, look at Bernie getting an eyeful."
Hey, he's just he's getting her autograph. You know?
Probably some 16-year-old kid in there. Who's in there? Bernie, he's a mascot.
Either that or some 65-year-old man.
Oh, it wouldn't have worked well for Cubs because he's pants.
All right,
Yeah.
so the Cubs are actually playing the Reds. I'm sorry, the Reds, and the Brewers did as well. They beat both of them 2-1.
I heard
they're,
that.
They're a feisty team.
I watched all the Reds because on the MLB package you can watch the opposing team's announcer, so I did, and I found out that they comment a lot about on them. So the Reds.
Yeah, well, look, they got Joey Votto. He's
having
an awesome year.
I know. I was watching the Reds. I was
Cozart,
like,
he's good.
every team I see play, I'm like, oh, they might be better than the Cubs.
And they have a couple good young pitchers too.
I know.
That they traded. So 4.
Wow. So what happened to the Cubs
Jeanette.
dynasty?
Well, I don't want to say it's the Cubs fans. You know,
well, I'm ready
being
for
a little bit too cocky.
What? Hey, listen.
And messing with karma.
Whoa.
And saying stuff like, "Would you rather have win this year or 4 of the next 5?" and bullshit like that.
Wait a second. That's real. Okay, before the Cubs won the World Series, if I said you can win the World Series in 2017, which they did, or they don't win the World Series, but that's the only they can win in 2017, but they can't win another title, or you can take their chances. I say I'll take my chances because we could win 8 of the next 10. Well,
yeah,
we're in year 2, and
yeah. Well, hey, I mean, you got 8 more years to win 7. So there you go.
If the Cubs, I don't know if they won 3.
Also about Cincinnati, which is kind of cool. They have this new Charlie Hustle statue of Pete Rose, diving into. Is that the one where he dislocated that guy's shoulder in the All-Star game?
That was Ray Fosse.
Yeah.
Hey.
So there you go.
How about that?
Yeah, they ended that guy's career and they made a statue. They don't have him.
They played hard.
They don't have him as
the
statue, right? Yeah. It's only Charlie.
They played hard. And the All-Star game's next week. No Cubs except for Wade Davis. But it won't determine home field advantage. Not that it matters. Last year, Cubs would have hosted the World Series. This year,
I think
they're going to have to be the road team and do it the hard way. But they did it before. They
need to move the All-Star game maybe a month later.
Oh, I see.
Maybe in the beginning of August, just because August sucks anyways. And I think maybe people, that late in the season, a lot of teams could actually use a week off and stuff.
Then you can't call it the Midsummer Classic.
Okay, all right. I think there's more important things than how about the quality of the game? How about that? And then you actually get to see players that are playing really well instead of like one-hit wonders in April.
This year they're doing something very special because since there's no competitive edge on the game, the winning team, each player gets $20,000. The losing team, the players get nothing.
Oh, yeah?
What about that?
20 Gs, did you say?
20,000.
Oh, well, not bad. That's walking around money for some of these guys.
That's one night of making it rain.
Hey, it doesn't matter how rich you are. 20 Gs is 20 Gs. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. And speaking of baseball, well, it's a
I'm
year.
glad I was able to contribute a Brewers story.
A year of home runs.
Oh, boy.
I think they've been saying that this year has the most home runs ever on record so far.
It's affected every team except for the Cubbies. Right?
Yeah. You wouldn't know it by watching the Cubs
I know.
broadcast.
You really wouldn't. But it's the Brewers are hitting them, too.
Yeah. So I love it, though, when these guys hit these home runs.
Yes.
And they get back into the clubhouse and they have like a handshake with like every single guy. And they're all different.
Right.
And there's like these very choreographed, orchestrated handshakes, which have a lot of, movements and stuff. And, no surprise these guys get swindled, because these guys are so dumb. They're just working on handshakes all day instead of actually reading a spreadsheet.
Yeah.
So shocking.
When it comes to the home
By the way, how about you learn English first too before we
how
do
about
fucking,
you do that?
Yeah.
What if you do that?
Let's combine it, into some sort of like alphabet lesson, right?
I like that.
English lesson, right?
What alphabet? A stands for I remembered A is Adam.
Yeah.
Hello. And then B is
all right,
Bill.
there you go.
Okay.
Okay, and then
that was my
a couple
way of
more
saying
baseball.
hello.
Actually, these are Brewer specific here. I'll get through these quick.
All right.
Did you see this?
Quick would be not getting to them at all.
All right, this was
or
Friday.
getting to them in your own time.
All right, this was Friday's game.
Know your audience.
All right, when they're playing the Marlins, a fan threw a ball.
Oh, I
and hit Joe West in the back of the head. Joe West, the umpire, he was at first base. Did you see this?
Yeah, wasn't it a lady, Kelly? Was her name Kelly, the fan?
What, that did it? I don't know.
Yeah.
I didn't see if they actually found out who it was. They actually stopped the game.
She was identified later as Kelly, and they thought she would never walk again after getting hit by the ball. But she's okay, and she was able to drive back from Milwaukee back to Kentucky.
All right. Well, I thought we were having a good discussion on the start.
Yeah.
Well, I was going ahead, but
go ahead.
All right. So not good.
That's not good.
Must have been either a Marlins fan or a Cubs fan, I think. Not because no Brewer fan would do that.
Cub fans are nice. They're well behaved.
Well, it depends what inning. Depends on what inning.
Yeah,
it is.
Anytime you watch it, you'll notice now that you got the MLB package. When you watch a Cubs game, lot of away fans. Yeah,
what do you think's higher, the fans' blood alcohol level or Lackey's ERA? Yeah.
Wow, you would be okay if you had Lackey's ERA as your blood alcohol level. You would be, you'd be clinically bad. Even if they found a pulse, they would have to put you down.
You'd be leaning against the trough.
Well, that would be 0.5 something.
Yeah,
That's good. Impossible.
Not good.
When you're at 0.3, or when you're even over at 0.3, I think you fall unconscious.
Yeah,
could be.
Yes, for sure. All right. So speaking of the Brewers, Corey Knebel.
Drink. You can drive erratically, but drink responsibly.
Corey Knebel, the Brewers closer, made the All-Star game, and they revealed their gender at the stadium in Miller Park of their baby.
Oh, I see.
Have
you
heard about this thing?
I did not. To be quite honest, I didn't. Nor if someone mentioned it to me, would I be prone to continue to listen.
So this is a activity I guess couples do these days. Is they have some sort of event to announce the gender of their kid, and they either like hit a golf ball that bursts into blue or pink, dust.
Yeah.
Or they have some sort of present, or have a dog come out with a blue or pink ribbon or something like that.
Wow. Yeah.
What I mean, whatever happened to
You're gonna say something inappropriate.
Yeah, seeing the weird ultrasound on the machine with jelly all over your artificial semen all over your wife's stomach.
Yeah.
What happened in the old days? Why does this have to be like an event?
I don't know. Couldn't they do something with Bernie Brewer, where Bernie falls into a vat of beer and then he drinks too much, and if he throws up and it's blue, then it's a boy.
He eats a bunch of candy beforehand. It's either blue, Jolly Ranchers. He eats a bunch of Jolly Ranchers. They're either red or blue.
Yep.
And then he just
that's good.
Goes down the slide a couple times, and then when he pukes, it's a boy.
Hey,
it's the happiest time of your life.
Can I mention this? Last week when I saw you, I had to leave to go to the Hollywood Bowl to see Queen and Adam Lambert, and it was awesome.
All right,
Thank you. My sister's flying from Texas to Omaha to see him, Queen.
Did he dress like
he does,
with like the mustache and everything?
No, he has a beard. He has like one of those beards, but he has pink hair and he had a pink suit, and then he wore just totally outlandish outfits. And then at one point he comes out, he's sitting on this giant head. And it was for one of their songs, and he said, "I just wanted to give everyone some head." That's what he said, and I was like, "Oh, all right." Okay. And then the bicycle song, "I Want to Ride Your Bicycle," right? He comes riding out on a pink bike. Yeah, he plays it up, but he was fantastic. Queen was great.
A lot of homosexuals in the audience.
Oh, I don't know if we should say. Listen. I'm not. Not that
there weren't,
but
like,
I love
no,
the
but
show.
there wasn't,
I couldn't have loved the show more.
Their audience wasn't like a gay. I mean, it was a
no. It was mixed.
It was a metal. It was a rock audience, right?
People love Queen.
Yeah, because their thing wasn't about being gay. Like,
no.
The thing was rocking out.
And it was so great because a couple songs they put Freddie on the screen, and then even Brian May, who's the original guitar player and the original drummer, was there too. He comes out the front and he brings his acoustic guitar and he does a duet with Freddie on the screen. Fantastic.
Oh, God. Was there no hologram? No Freddie Mercury hologram?
Yeah, Tupac.
Okay.
Does that.
All right.
Tupac went on tour by himself, I think, doing that. But it's such a great show, so congratulations,
right, sounds
Queen.
good.
And they're coming. They're touring. Oh yeah, they're touring.
Yeah, I like Queen. They're a good band.
Yeah, but Adam Lambert's great.
Sure.
So there you go. I'm going to Hollywood Bowl again tomorrow. So.
Did Lambert contact AIDS after the show? Did he go all the way for the impersonation?
Yeah.
Was he like in character?
Oh, okay. He kind of was. But he's just like that anyway. I don't know. I don't want to get into his personal life. I don't know what goes on there.
Hey, listen, this is a sports show.
Oh, I see. Well, then why'd you bring it up?
You brought it up.
Okay, but then you followed
and then,
it.
Okay, so let's get this going here. So the Brewers and our Cubs are going to play a one-game
on Thursday
makeup game.
Love it.
Because this was the game the
Cubs
canceled.
Or was it a thunderstorm?
Because there was no rain, and they canceled it early where it was kind of cloudy.
Remember, it was a Saturday.
Yeah, it was like at 9 a.m. or something like that. And there was clouds, but everyone knew it was going to be clear later that day. Well, of course, we all know that they canceled the game because they were in dire straits and they didn't want to lose 7 straight or something like that.
It's interesting because when the Cubs canceled, they weren't playing very well. And now when they rescheduled, they're not playing very well. So.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
There go Cubs.
They did a lot of psychological thinking on that one, but it didn't really pay off.
So were Cubs at home this weekend? Okay, so.
Oh, no. They just finished. Look out. I'll tell you the rest of the world.
So
because they were on the road for 17 to 20 games. 17 to 20, so get some home cooking.
Well, they're going to be home playing the
they play Tampa, and then they play one game against the Brewers.
Yeah,
and
so
then
they have the definite advantage.
Yeah.
On that one, because the Brewers are they're playing the Orioles, so they're going to play the Cubs. So that's not too bad. But then they go to New York. So
but they have an advantage.
And it's going to be an 11 a.m. game.
The Cubs haven't started heating up yet. But now they're at that.
Montgomery? Who is this guy? Montgomery?
Yeah, he's
a pitcher for a while.
He saved the Game 7 of the World Series.
Okay.
Yeah, he's
all right.
awesome.
And then, of course, the other day, July 1st, Bobby Bonilla Day.
Oh, boy.
This, of course, is the day where Bobby Bonilla... I read about this.
I knew about it.
The Mets owed him. No, I've known about this for a long time.
The Mets did. They paid Bernie Madoff. They had him invest their money.
Well, the guy had all his money in there.
So that one went poorly. And then they gave Bobby Bonilla a big contract, so they have to pay him $1 million every year.
But they only owed him $5 million, and that seems like nothing today.
Back in 2000, early 2000.
So what they said basically was like, don't pay me. Let's just defer this until 2011, and then every year you pay me $1.9 million until 2035.
Hey, the tax man comes a calling.
Who came up with that?
I don't know.
That's
you can take $5 million now, or we'll pay you $1 million for the next 70 years.
So they're gonna. So they didn't want to pay They didn't want to pay $5.5 million.
Right.
So they're gonna be paying this guy $35 million until 2000.
That's how the Mets thinking are. That's how they got messed up with Bernie Madoff.
Yep.
Bernie Madoff didn't do a lot of good things. Not at all.
All right. We got a couple more quick hits right now. The Yankees rookie.
De Niro played.
Into the mic, James. Please. Do you see?
Oh, I was going to ask you before I said it. Didn't he play Wizard of Lies?
De Niro? I don't know.
Yeah, De Niro.
All right, the Yankees rookie, some guy. I didn't take the time to write this guy's name.
That poor guy. He got hurt in Chicago
in the first inning in Chicago.
Oh boy, bottom of the first, went into the wall, and then he never even got to bat. May never play again. But just remember, young. I think his name is Chris Carter. I'm not sure. But whatever young Yankees rookie, just remember, no matter how bad your life gets, if you build it, he will come.
Yeah.
And he is me. So just build low.
But not your ACL. That will not come back. Unless you get it from a cadaver.
Yeah, I would say.
All right.
I would switch.
And then just sticking with the Yankees for a second, Chris Carter, former Brewer, who hit the most home runs.
I just said Chris Carter, but
in the National League. Yeah, he was sent to AAA. So
that's why I got the names mixed up.
Something very interesting about all these players that play for the Brewers and then they go somewhere else.
Right.
And then they suck it up good. So I don't know what's going on, but it seems like the Brewers have a up and down quality organization.
The future's coming.
And the Cubs are already falling apart. Sold your soul to the devil.
No, but the thing is...
For one championship.
Oh, no. Oh.
So let me tell you this. You could have the Cubs win in 2016, or the Brewers could build a dynasty and then win for the next 10 years. What would you take?
I'm saying the Cubs have built a dynasty.
And then bankrupt your team for the next 10 years.
Well, the thing is, you get the World Series. We're built for the long haul.
Yeah, too bad.
The long haul may
listen,
not be right here, right now.
How many
but,
years before Theo Epstein is
that's
ran
what I
out
keep
of town
thinking.
with
I know.
pitchforks?
No, they're gonna
it's
be
coming.
You watch that second half. They're going to be coming.
If he doesn't win more than one, people are going to be like, yeah, it was a failure. It didn't work. It didn't work. I like him.
He built it, and we came. Field of Dreams reference.
Yep. Okay. All right, Gene.
Yeah.
You're
right. Making some adjustments.
Yeah,
so that was a lot of
Feels a little hot. I don't know.
And then, Cubby.
Check.
And then
all right.
All things Midwest.
Let me just open up my phone. So,
I see.
All right. Oh, and then here's another interesting story. Speaking of Bob Bonilla, used to play for the Pirates.
He didn't play for the Cubs.
No, he did not.
Or the
there's a story out of Pittsburgh that the umpire that was umpiring that game.
He's in the game we're watching right now. He's at third base.
Well, John Tumpane is his name, and I wrote down this guy's name because he's a hero.
He is.
And I think we should give heroes their due.
Especially so near, without heroes, our 4th of July, it would just be another day.
So the woman was on the other side of the railing at the, I think it's the PNC Bridge. It's the bridge, I think, that connects the stadium
It's
to
the yellow
Pittsburgh.
bridge. They have a couple bridges.
Like
it's the yellow one.
And
it goes over
listen,
the Allegheny River.
First of all, this ain't San Francisco. All right, so I mean, like, if she fell, was she? I mean, you know, this ain't the Golden Gate Bridge, so I don't know how far she was gonna fall.
Wow.
I don't know, maybe there's rocks beneath or something. But I mean, I guess I don't know. But anyways, he basically talked her down, and, like, grabbed her.
It's not a hero.
Well, I'm just saying, like, I mean, she didn't die.
Yeah.
Who knows if she would have died, right?
He held on to her.
Yeah.
Have you ever saved someone's life?
Yeah.
Well,
For sure.
What? Okay. What
no,
if
I'm just kidding. I don't
but
know
if someone was on the second story and they're leaning out the window, and they were saying, "Oh, come rescue me! The building's lit on fire. Would you go in there?" I'd get in there.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, you know,
Yeah,
if it's
there
not
you
like
go.
super. I mean, but you know, you gotta make sure it's not like super smoky because you know what good does it do if you asphyxiate?
Well, yeah.
You got 2 people dead.
I
right?
see.
Yep.
I've never been able.
Guy shouldn't have left his cigarette lit when he fell asleep on the couch.
Oh,
you know.
I see. Yeah.
Think.
Or crack.
All right. We got some basketball news.
Really? Hey,
Sorry
the
about
Bucks
that.
are great.
Gene, let's pick up the energy a little bit. It feels like this. We're in a lull here.
I don't know.
Well, it is hot as hell in this
is.
goddamn room.
By the way, the summer is here, which everyone loves. We were talking about that before. If you're from the Midwest, you love the summer because you survived all winter, so you can have nice weather in the summer and you can go outdoors. But here in California, summer
it just gets
just
hot.
Like, it gets
hell
hot
every single day.
Like, oh gosh, it's too
It
hot.
sucks. And then nothing has air conditioning. So
Right.
all right. So
but do you have any? I was going to ask you. Your baseball news was fantastic. Oh, I learned quite a bit. Would you have any basketball news? Do you have any follow-up stories for basketball?
How about Phil Jackson?
Oh,
maybe
he used to coach the Bulls.
Maybe this will whet your appetite a little
probably
bit.
not. I already know everything you're going to say.
Well, Phil Jackson, former Bulls coach,
Yes.
Chicago Bulls.
Yes.
That's the Midwest connection.
Yeah.
Released by the Knicks after a couple horrendous years.
I would say horrendous. That would qualify.
Yeah.
Just get out.
I don't know why. Why does everyone hate on the triangle offense? I mean, obviously it worked pretty well. I mean, with Jordan and Pippen, but like, I mean, these guys are acting like they know, like, the X's and O's of like basketball and stuff.
Wait a second.
I mean, you can't shoot 3-pointers with a
Yeah,
triangle offense?
No, I don't think so. You just you have well. Plus, you only play 3 guys, so you're at disadvantage. You have one guy standing in the corner and another guy standing in the other corner. I don't know. I don't understand.
So
but Jordan, they just did what they wanted anyway.
I mean, I don't know.
They didn't
about
run
that,
no triangle. That's so over. The
All
Bulls
right.
ran the triangle. I don't think so. I think they ran whatever Michael wanted to do.
All right, so he was let go, and then Stephen A. Smith went on the attack,
Yeah.
and said he was a fraud,
Wow.
and that he didn't know shit, and that Tex Western was
that would be Tex Winter.
Tex
for
Winters.
anyone that-
Tex Western's the animator, right?
Yeah,
Or no, that's the guy from the
Yeah.
Manson murders. Tex
Hey,
Western.
And the one lady was up for parole. She's been in there the whole time, and she's almost 70, I think.
It's all one part. It's all in one part. So Gene,
if you're okay, go ahead.
So
But I was
Gene,
gonna say,
as someone that watched the Bulls,
yeah,
Isn't it?
They didn't run a triangle. They ran with Michael on.
I did that accent without even meaning to. Do you ever notice you just slip into your Midwest accent every now and then? I just said the Bulls, like the Bulls from the skit, it was very funny.
I don't really have a Midwest accent.
All right.
People.
I heard it earlier today.
Well, people say, "Wow, you sound weird. Where are you from? Iowa?" And then they go, "Wow, that makes sense." And I go, "Wow, why?"
Yeah, that makes sense.
Why?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so Gene, you telling me as a fan of the Bulls?
Yeah, they're rebuilding.
Well, no, is Phil Jackson good?
No,
is he good?
He should. Oh,
he's not.
I don't know.
Well, I mean, you win 10 championships.
11.
You're not good. 11 was he 11?
Yeah, he never rebuilt the team.
He won
I don't
6.
know. Who knows?
Yeah, he won 5. He won 5 with the
Lakers,
right? 2 extra ones with Kobe.
I don't know. Maybe. Yeah, sure. He's good. But.
Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of hate. I mean, maybe the guy's a bad GM. I mean, why does that make him a bad coach, right?
Yeah.
I mean, okay, maybe he sucks at GM. All of a sudden, he's a fraud.
Yeah.
Hey, Steven?
Right.
How many NBA championships do you have? How many NBA championship teams have you coached, Steven?
Do you know? I was never on a championship team, but my senior year in high school, we were number 1 in the state. And we're in the title game, all thanks to my friend, Greg Van Etten, who died this week. Oh, so sad. But he went to Hampstead. He was awesome. And then...
how many NBA championships has he won?
He was good. He was a good athlete.
All right. No.
Yeah. But we lost to Barry Alvarez, who went on to coach Wisconsin. But so I'm just like Stephen.
He was playing? Barry was playing or he was coaching?
He was the coach of
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And then moving right along, Malcolm Brogdon of the Milwaukee Bucks was Rookie of the Year.
Okay. Well, Hey, that's... Oh, now you got me excited. I haven't been this excited since my senior year at Hempstead when we're in the state title game. But we lost.
He
was a second-round pick.
I'm from Wisconsin, and I lived in Milwaukee for many years.
When you were a Panther.
Yeah, and I have no idea who this guy is. And he's the Rookie of the Year, so I guess he's good.
You know what? I didn't know who he was either, and he was a second rounder. He's the lowest pick to ever win.
And the Greek Freak, he won the other day, or he won a couple of years ago, right? Rookie of the Year.
Could have been. I don't know.
Don't remember.
If you say so, then I'm gonna.
All right.
I'm gonna.
It's the NBA off season, so there's a lot of trades and news. So we'll go through this really quick. The big bombshell was Chris Paul going to the Rockets.
Yikes.
Little, not mentioned exactly. Who cares? But not mentioned. Sam Decker.
Sam, he's an old Badger.
Part of the trade coming to the Clippers to LA. So Sam.
Yes, welcome to LA.
Hit me up, homie. Let's get the Wisconsin crew. Let's get the 608 crew together.
Wow, is that your area code?
I'll show you some spots.
Oh.
I'll show you some of my favorite spots, Sam.
It's amazing because I saw Sam play when he was at Wisconsin because when they were running to the Final Four, he played in LA when they they beat Kentucky or with someone. And then, but he hasn't been a great pro. So he needs to come out here, sit down with you, get with his 608 crew. My crew's 319, I think. I'm a 319er. I think that was our area code.
Well, I'll tell you what. If he has a career like J.J. Redick, then he'll be sitting pretty. J.J. Redick, of course, from Marquette.
Oh, I didn't.
And he played when I was going to college there.
J.J. Redick played at Duke.
Did he?
Yes.
Oh, did he? Oh,
Dwayne Wade played at
who's
Marquette.
the white guy from Marquette that played around the same time?
Well, J.J. Redick played at Duke. So
are you sure about that?
Yes, I am.
All right, I could be wrong.
He was very...
Anyways.
Let's take good out of it. Let's embrace being wrong.
Yeah, well, J.J. Redick signed with the 76ers for $23 million.
Yeah.
Not bad.
That's
not bad. These NBA contracts. I mean, this is not a hot take. I mean, but these contracts are a little nuts.
Well, what do you think? Because everyone said, and I heard this again today, if you win the lottery, your chances of going broke increase significantly. Would you take your chances? I would.
I'll take my chances. I'll just hold on to my money.
But I mean,
giving
if you
it to some other dude.
so you won $23 million in the lottery. How long would it take you to blow through it?
And literally cocaine? Blow through it?
I wasn't going that route, no. Because my problem would be I would probably spend all my money just donating to others. There's so many. I live right off Hollywood Boulevard, and there's so many teenagers who are troubled up there, just ran away from their home, and they're just sitting on the street. Yeah, so they'd probably eat up all the profits and trying to find shelter for their homeless dogs, which is sad.
Where are we going here?
I don't know.
Where's
I'm just sad because I always see these homeless dogs out. I mean, they're not homeless. They have their owners are homeless, so the dogs are homeless. They're not. The dogs aren't just wandering the streets peeing on people. Yeah, it's sad, right? Why bring your dog
I'm trying to figure out who this guy was from Marquette.
Well, Dwayne Wade, and
it was a white guy. It was someone. All right, we can move on.
Yeah.
All right, so and then Jimmy Butler.
But I saved you from having to do a retraction.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, you were right. JJ Redick went to Duke.
Damn.
All right, but Jimmy Butler, he was traded to the Timberwolves. Gives out his phone number.
Jimmy Butler, maybe he
live on air.
That was awesome.
And then a lot of people reported, so he got a lot of phone calls.
Well, he had to change his number. That made no sense.
You didn't think that would happen or something?
Well, because his you couldn't get through because his voicemail filled up, and I'm sure he had to change his number because everyone publicized it.
And there was a pretty interesting story about some guy whose number was like one digit off.
Yes, I heard that guy.
And he got a bunch of calls too.
Yep.
He was looking for a job. He was like, I need a job.
Wow.
All these people are clogging my phone line. All right, we'll get going here.
Hey, I'll give out my phone number if anyone wants. What do you say? If anyone has a problem,
it's a 900 phone number. By the way.
All
right.
323-304-294.
All right, we have a little football news. Gene, I know you're a big football fan.
Oh yeah, I'm going to see the Packers play September 24th.
Vince.
And I'm going to an Iowa game the day before.
Speaking of the Packers, former backup quarterback Vince Young was in the news. Of course, he was recently cut by the Saskatchewan Roughriders or whatever.
He was a national champ.
Yep. Yeah. He was recently reported by Sports Illustrated ripping Jeff Fisher.
Wow. That's just not right. And by the way, Jeff Fisher used to play for the Bears. So there.
Yeah, it's all connected. Well, I got a couple of quotes here, so let's. I'll read this to you quick. Yeah. I'm going to expose his ass, he says of Fisher, who claims stripped all the fun from football, pushing Young until he broke, whereas Mac Brown had been the father figure Young always wanted. I guess that's the Texas coach, right?
Yeah.
Fisher, he says, acted like someone saddled with an unwanted stepson. Family members, close friends, even Young's pastor described Fisher as jealous, envious of the QB. Young recounts closed-door meetings with Fisher in which both men agree to keep their conversation private. The next day, he says, he'd read Fisher's side, his exact words in the local papers. Young says he would sometimes arrive early for a meeting,
I see.
only to learn that it had been canceled unannounced.
What's wrong with being on time?
And that the coach was out fishing with Kerry Collins.
I see.
Neither Fisher nor Collins responded to multiple emails from SI. It's like I'm kind of surprised he is kind of bashing. So like, how do you just let someone get on your magazine and just let them start bashing people?
Yeah.
I mean, do people hate this guy that much, Jeff Fisher, that much?
I guess so. If someone wants to interview me and have me bash you, I'd do it reluctantly. But if that's what they need, you need clicks. Do you know that now? It used to be you had to sell papers, but now you need clicks.
Yeah. Young describes an incident from November of his rookie season when he left his ID at home before a road game against the Eagles. Well, first of all, how do you leave your ID? Do you not bring your wallet?
Oh.
So I don't know. That's what I'm saying. This is very one-sided. Some of this stuff doesn't make sense.
Not good.
At home, and by the way, Jeff Fisher is a piece of shit. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying, I'm kind of surprised that side just let him just bash Fisher. Some of this stuff doesn't add up.
Yeah, it doesn't. We'll see them in court.
Jeff Fisher's a fraud. He's a fraud.
But he's going to be coaching again. That's what he wants to do.
As he tells it, hold on, let me finish this. As he tells it, he went to retrieve it and was then held up by a funeral procession en route. Of course, it always happens to the plane. He called Fisher to say he would be 2 minutes late. He said that Fisher had held up the plane for other players, but he did not. I feel like Fisher did that shit on purpose. And of course, the plane went off and without him.
Well, there we go.
And then he also bashes that Fitzpatrick. He says, "Why is Fitzpatrick playing, not me?" I don't know if it's because you suck. So let's
how about for starter? You weren't very good. He was good in the national title game. You bring your
when
idea.
you're 22 years old. Unfortunately, Jeff Fisher drove you into the ground. But again, Jeff Fisher.
If you're listening,
would he
now
have?
that you got time, this is for you.
Would he?
This is directly to you, not to anybody else. Jeff Fisher, this is for you.
Would he?
It's not for Maryland. It's not for anybody else. This is for Jeff Fisher.
If not for Steve McNair.
If it wasn't for Steve McNair, Jeff,
would you have a career?
Where would your career be?
And Eddie George.
Yeah, and Eddie George.
All right.
And then one little playoff run.
And then.
How about that?
And then.
Do you want to say anything else to Jeff
and
Fisher?
then, speaking of Jeff Fisher, the NFL...
Jeff Fisher, we're not done with you yet. Just because you play with the Bears.
All right, Gene, holding the show up.
Oh, sorry.
All right, so...
Well, we want to make sure that other people don't think you're talking about them. We're not talking about you. We're talking about Jeff Fisher.
Okay.
Okay, back to you.
Then they released a clip of him getting, 2 minutes after he got fired, addressing the team. There's a documentary about the Rams season.
I didn't watch it.
It's like, why are they doing this to this poor guy? Does everyone hate him in the NFL?
That's
or
why
what?
I didn't watch it, because I was like, wow, enough's enough.
Are people getting pleasure watching this guy flame out?
Right. Yeah.
Do people hate this guy that much?
Mm-mm.
All right.
Well, I was going to say, if we lost our president, would you be, if he got thrown out, would you be upset? Oh, I don't know.
All right, Bears.
Bears are awesome. They're rebuilding.
Victor Cruz was in the news.
Yeah, ex-New York Giant.
Recently signed to the Bears.
Mm-hmm.
So the Giants didn't give him the ball so they could cut him on purpose.
Yeah, I know. That was his big deal.
Well, just wait until you play for the Bears, Victor.
Wow.
It gets way worse. It gets way worse.
I didn't know that's what you're gonna say. I thought you were gonna compliment the Bears. They're trying to rebuild. Hey, now talk about kicking a team when they're down.
Well, that's the type of leadership you want in the locker room, right?
Well, what about
let's get Mitchell Chbosky or whatever the fuck the guy's name is. Let's get him hanging out.
Hey, I'm telling you, rebuilding is hard. The Packers, we got to take advantage of Aaron Rodgers, right?
Yeah.
What if they had to go on a 30-year rebuilding?
They don't. They just got to pick another magic quarterback.
Yeah.
All right. Speaking of Aaron Rodgers, Brett Favre, the guy he took over.
He's coming out of retirement to run the front office.
Says he's never would say never to working with the Packers again.
That's great. That's what you like to hear.
Brett.
Oh. Brett, this is for you.
Brett, as a Packer fan, I'm not an owner.
Jeff Fisher, you can move along. We're done with you. But this is for Brett Favre. This isn't for anybody else. This is
Brett. No one wants you in the front office. No one wants you in the front office, Brett.
I don't really see that happening either. But
yeah,
I'm glad he came home though.
Listen, Brett. We'll clap and we'll stand up and clap for you and all that.
We'll stand, Brett.
But listen, I don't think people realize is that he retired.
Yeah.
And then we were like, okay, Aaron Rodgers, this is your team. And then Brett Favre came back and was like, I want to play anyways.
Well,
they're like, we
that.
already told Aaron he's like player, he's a quarterback. Okay, and then he specifically went to the Vikings to beat the Packers. So, Brett,
that's mean.
Maybe it's harsh justice and maybe it's sour grapes, but maybe you should have thought about that.
Wow.
10 years ago.
You got some venom.
When you put yourself before the Green Bay Packers.
When you went after Jeff Fisher, I was like, wow, that's a lie. You're spent. You use it all up. But no, you saved a little some for Jeff Fisher.
Let's just say the betrayal is deep and it hurts.
Well, take that, Brett. Although if you're in Green Bay September 24th, I'll meet you at your steakhouse and then we can go there. I'll stand for you. Sure. See, I'm not like you. Miggy Montero, who the Cubs cut this week, I'm not mad at him. I'm like, best. Well, I hope if the Cubs play Toronto in the World Series, we'll see.
Did Miggy Montero say he wanted a front office job when he's done? Maybe
he's
someday.
Gonna wait a little bit.
All right, and then
our front office is so good they built a dynasty. The problem is the Cubs don't realize it yet. What if Theo comes? Theo comes to the Cubs and is like, don't you guys realize they built a dynasty? Start acting like it.
Yeah, I'm sure that's a great speech. That helps.
But he did. Doesn't that make sense?
Does that work?
Well, he built a dynasty.
Now
it's
when they
up to
lose,
the Cubs
they freak out.
Well, if you build it, just like my Field of Dreams, if you build it, he will come. Well, Theo built it, Cubs. Let's pull it together.
Well, Gene, I got a.
How about that? I got something for them.
Yeah, that's a good.
People are like, wow, you just love them all the time. That was a critical comment. Cubs, here's my message to you. Try to do better, please.
There you go. And that's from a stockholder. There's no
yeah,
stock.
I'm a stockholder of the Packers. I already voted. My vote. I approved the new board members or whoever they were and the president. Yep.
All right. So we have a special feature this week, and I should have teased this at the beginning of the show, but then I kind of forgot. I got too excited.
Okay.
And we'll get through this quick. Worst state of the week.
Wow.
Of the Midwest.
This is so great because we haven't done this for a while. And it's never been Iowa, and it will never be Iowa.
We have
because
a couple.
Iowa does so many things.
I think it's a toss-up. Toss-up this week.
We'll go with Nebraska if it's a toss-up.
Let's start with Minnesota.
Oh, what
did you hear about these teens that they're doing this thing for YouTube, this skit for YouTube? They're like 19 years old.
No.
And basically, the skit was this guy held this book in front of him, and then the girl like shot him.
Oh, I did hear
through
about
the
that.
book, and and apparently like he tried it once through a book.
Wow.
But it was a different size book, and they were recording this for a YouTube video.
Oh, that's not good.
And
Minnesota win. Did you watch the video?
No, they didn't release it.
Oh.
It's evidence.
Oh,
I don't think they were live streaming it.
Well.
So this poor girl,
terrible.
and she's pregnant with this kid. Now the kid's dead.
Yeah.
And they shot a desert eagle.
Oh,
a desert eagle. That's a huge gun. That's like a 50. Is it millimeter? I don't know this stuff. But,
I see. Yeah,
it's like a big ass fucking. It's not like a 22, like a little pistol. It's
I was
a big
in college,
gun.
I took Shakespeare, and we had this book. Nothing. Even a desert eagle wouldn't have been able to penetrate. It would have got stopped at Hamlet.
Well, let's test it out and put it on YouTube, Gene.
Yeah.
But
I don't think so. I believe
first of all,
guns should be owned by people in authority and sportsmen.
How do they get this Desert Eagle? I mean, it's a pretty expensive gun too. It's like a nice gun.
That's
Anyways,
sad.
a lot of mystery. Yeah, very sad.
That's going to be
dumb.
For the worst state of the week. That's going to be hard to top because that's not.
All right. Well, there is. I didn't want to lay this all on you at once.
Wow. Could be Illinois just for the way they operate.
But there is. There's a bunch of bad news coming out of the Cubs, so I guess Illinois could be a candidate.
Yeah, right.
But another story from Iowa.
Oh, tread lightly.
Is
here.
Iowa man who rigged the lottery.
Oh, I don't know that.
So that his friends,
I'm already impressed.
Family members would win the lottery. So this guy was a programmer for the lottery.
What?
And he put in this code so that on specific dates, he would know what the algorithm was and blah 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 and all. And he told people to like buy lottery tickets at this time.
Wow.
And you gotta figure like
That's
you can't do this like a bunch of times, right? So obviously all these people had connections to him. They weren't quite obvious, but they were able to check down the connections pretty easily.
Does it work? Did it work?
Yeah, like 5 people. Like that's how they caught on to it. Like 5 people won the lottery.
You can program the numbers.
Well, he was a programmer that did the security thing for it or whatever.
Wow.
Yeah. So he set it up so on certain dates, certain numbers would appear, and then he told his friends to.
I think that should go to the state with the most ingenuity, right? Because people think, well, in Iowa you have a lot of farmers and people who misuse meth, but we also have people that are doing something like this. That's very nice. Yeah.
Well, the lottery's a scam, anyways, right? Might as well.
What did they do to him?
Well, I mean,
did the people get to keep their money?
I don't think so. He's.
Wow, that's not good.
Oh, and then the people trying to claim it were trying to claim it anonymously, and that's so there's a bunch of red flags and all this stuff. So
wow, did we? Oh,
very interesting stuff.
But
so
we're
Gene,
not the worst state.
I know you're a little biased. So Gene, you have to recuse yourself since you're from Iowa.
I will not accuse myself. I will say I love what the guy did. I'm all for testing the boundaries of good sportsmanship and illegal activity. So I'm going to say Iowa, you get full credit. Minnesota, that's a bad story. No, I'll go with them. Is that what you're saying?
Worst day of the week? Well,
oh boy,
it's tough. And the Cubs are sad. I'm just going to say every state other than Wisconsin.
Oh,
the worst day of the week.
Wisconsin's beautiful. They had a good month, didn't they?
And Summerfest in Milwaukee, too.
Oh, so. Summerfest, whichever. That's on my, I'd love to go.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, that's it.
Although I'll be in Milwaukee September to see a Cubs-Brewers game, I believe.
There you go. All right, guys, you got an extra dosage of the show. A couple of past episodes were a little short, but you guys got the full
We did.
enchiladas. So
Happy 4th of July.
Yeah, it's 4th of July tomorrow, which will be Tuesday. So enjoy that. Cook some food outside.
Oh, do you know what? It's better to let others do the fireworks and you not.
Yeah, don't be a John Paul Pierce or whatever that guy's name is.
Oh, yeah,
Paul
JPP.
Pierre. Remember
And
the guy
also-
blew his hand off.
Yeah, and a big thing that happens in LA, people just fire off their guns. But if you do that, well, first off, try to point it up in the air so you don't just
Not
blatantly
the
shoot
UFOs
someone.
though.
Yeah,
Don't do that.
But remember when they go up, they don't disappear. They got to come back down.
Yeah, just like that lady in
People-
St.
yeah.
Louis.
Kelly.
Yeah, just don't do it by Chavez Ravine.
Oh yeah, that girl in St. Louis. Do you know people? A lot of times it happens out here. People fire off their guns and they think, well, that's it. Hey, yippity doo. Well, that bullet's coming down eventually.
Comes
and
back.
Someone could be in harm's way.
Could hit your baby. Who knows?
Oh,
All right. Well, that is Gene Steichen.
hello.
And then my name is Chris Stotts. It's been the Midwest Sports Show. Thanks for
That was the 4th of July.
thanks for tuning in. Happy
edition.
birthday, America.
Oh, America.
And let's get the Russians out of this goddamn country, please. Can we do this?
Wait, no.
All right.
Putin. We love the Russian. Okay.
Okay.
Bye.
All
Don't we?
right.
We
Goodbye.
love all people. Bye. We love all
there you go.
people, don't we?